Rest in peace, I. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 101, Unwavering Instinct. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode was another one of those episodes where my mouth was open the entire time going, what? And it left me at a loss for words, and I was actually crying at the end of the episode. I'll be honest with you, I was crying. This episode was really well done. It was very impactful, very emotional, and it just shows how far Bowman is going to go in order to carry out his plan of being the only existence. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with a flashback of the events of the Neuron Link last episode before coming back to Faust and Gnome's plan, which is to overload the Neuron Link from both inside and outside of Link VRAINS. However, this plan ultimately fails because the virus bomb doesn't detonate, and so Zyzen and Ghost Girl have to do it manually. However, unfortunately, Bowman finds out about this and he decides to strike them both down with the Neuron Link. And he actually gets Ghost Girl first because Ghost Girl threw herself in front of Zyzen and letting it take her first so that Zyzen could go ahead and activate this virus bomb by getting down past Soltech's security, which Zyzen ultimately does because as it strikes him down, his finger is right on the button and he's able to push it before ultimately succumbing to the Neuron Link here. And as this is all going on, Bowman is basically taunting Playmaker like, you thought you could win with the miracle isn't coming. And yeah, the Neuron Link is stopped. And as the Neuron Link is stopped, Hayomi rescues the survivors by forcing Soltech's log out to happen because now this can happen with the Neuron Link disrupted. And Playmaker actually takes on and launches a counterattack, and he destroys Hydrodrive Drag Raid with Clock Dragon and ends his turn. Everything is looking like it's taking a turn for the better. Playmaker looks like he's going to come out on top with this, but Bowman is able to restart the Neuron Link, much to everybody's horror. Even the Knights of Hanoi that are watching this, they're like, no way, he's restarting the Neuron Link, but how? This ain't gonna stop. And so I decides he cannot let this happen. He can no longer stand back and just watch this. He decides to go in and stop the Neuron Link. He sacrifices himself, and we actually see a very emotional moment here between Playmaker and I, something that I was really happy to see. It was something that, you know, I kind of thought they were going to do, but at the same time, knowing Playmaker or Yusaku's how should I put this, flat personality, it was something that I wasn't really getting my hopes on for, but it really was an impactful moment between these two, and you could really feel the emotions and the bonds that these two have built up. And I ends up being destroyed by the Neuron Link, but he's able to stop it again, and Playmaker vows to Bowman that he will carry on his partner's wishes. He will not let I's sacrifice go to waste, and he will avenge his partner. However, Bowman is undeterred, and he continues his move. He basically tells Playmaker that I's sacrifice was futile because I'm still going to win, and he plays a spell card called Hydrodrive Readvent, and it revives Hydrodrive Drag Raid. And what it does is it basically revives it till the end of the turn with its effects negated. However, it is destroyed at the end of the turn. And at this point, it's still weaker than Clock Dragon, so it's kind of like a head scratcher as to why he would do this until Bowman plays the dreaded card, Judgment Arrows, horrifying everybody because now if Drag Raid attacks, it's going to have 8,000 attack power. It's going to defeat Playmaker if it destroys Clock Dragon, and the Hanoi are just watching on. They're like, oh no, he's going to use it to destroy Playmaker, and Playmaker's going to lose and all this other stuff. However, Bowman's not done. He reactivates the Neuron Link, showing that I's sacrifice was futile and that he truly can control everything here. And he performs a Master Storm access, and he actually absorbs Frog and Pigeon too at this point. I forgot those guys were there, but yeah, they're absorbed in this data storm, and he pulls out another card, and it's another Link 5, you know, because if you're going to make the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh villain for this series, it's got to be over the top. Another Link 5 monster, and it's called Perfectron Hydrodrive Dragon, and this card has 0 attack power, although it does look awesome, and it gains a counter for all of Drag Raid's link markers, so it's got 5 counters, and much like I think it was Blood Shepherd and his drone beehive, it gains 1,000 attack points for each counter. This dragon has the very same effect, so it now has 5,000 attack power plus judgment arrows, which will double it, 10,000 attack power on this attack. Playmaker, it seems there's no hope for him. The Knights of Hanoi are all horrified as they're watching this. They're going to watch Playmaker lose, and Bowman's going to win. And Playmaker does one more thing. He comes out and he's able to bring out Link Karibo from the graveyard and is able to bring this dragon's attack power to nothing. And even though if it still attacks, Clock Dragon will destroy it. We're safe. That's what the Knights of Hanoi are thinking. That's what Playmaker is thinking. Bowman, on the other hand, continues the attack with 0 attack points. So they're wondering, what is the point of that? However, Bowman's dragon, he removes the counter from it. And when he does this, he's able to not have his dragon destroyed in battle, and battle damage is 0. So again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, what was the point of that? Because all you're doing is just attacking and wasting a counter. You're going to drop your attack points, and that's what it appears to be from an outsider's perspective. However, this dragon has another effect hidden up its sleeve. Playmaker takes damage for every Hydra Drive in Bowman's graveyard, and Clock Dragon's destroyed. So Clock Dragon is destroyed, and Playmaker ends up taking 2,400 points of damage, and he only has 2,500 life points, so he's down to his last 100 life points as he's knocked down to the ground. Bowman is saying, you survived just barely, this next turn will end you, and that's where the episode leaves off. So like I said, this episode had a lot going on. It left you on it left me anyway, on the edge of my seat throughout the entire episode. I was crying when I was sacrificed and when Zyson and Ghost Girl were destroyed with the Neuron Link. This was really an impactful episode, a very powerful episode, and it's also shown how much the Knights of Hanoi's attitude has changed. Not just Revolver, but the Knights too, because we saw that Revolver had changed. Playmaker had even pointed this out, that Revolver had changed his ways, but now this is showing that it's not just Revolver, the Knights did too, as they watched AI sacrifice himself. You know, they're in disbelief that an AI would sacrifice itself for human like that. So yeah, this episode showed a little bit of everything and a little bit of progress on the Hanoi's redevelopment as characters. And yeah, this is all coming as we've gotten the news for Season 3, which I'm not going to go into for this video because that contains a lot of spoilers. But yeah, we're reaching the wire of Season 2. Season 2 is probably the best arc of Vrains so far, and arguably this is one of the better Yu-Gi-Oh arcs we've had in a long time, in my opinion, and this episode was just another addition onto that. Overall, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. I really loved this episode. I really enjoyed this episode. But as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.